So ever since I've started drawing, I've always been fascinated by how professional artists can easily draw human figures without even trying. So I stopped to ask myself, why can't I do that? Well, I've never really taken the time to learn anatomy. One, because if you already couldn't tell, I am a seal, so I necessarily don't have the most stunning physique. But that changes today. Not the physique part. I mean, come on, bro. What do you think this is? This ain't a workout channel. So today, I'm challenging myself to learn anatomy in a week. And come on now, how hard can anatomy be? Spoiler alert, anatomy is extremely hard. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so in order to best track my progress, I'm going to draw this exact image on day 1 and on day 7 to see if I actually improved. And this is what we're starting with. And to be honest, it's like really bad. Like, I don't even want you to see this right now. But at least it can only get better from here. And with that out of the way, let's begin day 1. So in order to best study the proportions of the human body, I first started by implementing the 8-head scale. And I mean, this is like an S tier change because it made my drawing go from like alien to something that resembles more of a human. I still need to work on the hands though. Like, bro, what are those? However, the 8-head scale doesn't really work with dynamic poses. So I also attempted, keyword there by the way, attempted some figure drawing. And to be honest, it didn't go great, but it really helped me implement the 8-head scale into some practical use by drawing dynamic poses. And this really helped with my anatomy. If you're also struggling with anatomy, I'd really recommend you give this a shot. Alright, so moving on to day 2, I was feeling optimistic because arms are the one thing I'm decent at. To start off the day, I watched a video by Cynic's Design, where he went really in depth about how the arm moves, how to draw the arm, and also what muscles are in the arm. As he was explaining all these complex things, my confidence slowly started to go down, so I just took some notes on what I thought was important. For me, the main takeaways from the video were the arm is sort of like a chain. It goes from big to small and then to big again. Also, throughout the video, he kept referring to S and C curves, which can help you draw the arm in a more natural way. To finish off day 2, I also did some practice drawings, which were really helpful in helping me draw arms in different angles. But seriously, it's way too much to cover in this video, so if you want to know more about arms, go check out Cynic's channel. Alright, so moving on to day 3, we're going to be focusing on the torso, and yeah, not gonna lie, after yesterday I was feeling a bit nervous, especially because the torso looks so much more complex compared to the arms. But come on now, you really think I was gonna back down from a challenge? So to start things off, I watched a video by Robert Marzullo, where he basically explained how to draw a torso using a simple box. This was a very interesting video because he explained how to add depth and draw the torso from different angles. Throughout the video, he also talked about the different muscles in the torso and also how to draw them in different angles, which really helped me out. I also later used a slightly different method where you use 3 shapes instead of 1. One for the rib cage, one for the belly, and also one for the hips. In my opinion, this method really helped more for dynamic poses, because you can just bend a couple simple boxes and then build on top of that. And I think I did a good job, but I'm only halfway there to mastering anatomy. Alright guys, so moving on to day 4, I'm going to be focusing on legs. And yeah, not gonna lie, we kinda skipped leg day throughout this challenge. So in order to change that, I watched a video by one of my favorite art influencers, Draw Like a Sir. During his video, he mentioned that you need to know more than anatomy to make a character stand. And that most of the time, drawing the actual leg is the easy part. You need to make sure it can actually be structurally correct. An interesting fact that he brought up in his video was that your hip is actually tilted. Bro, I seriously did not know this before. Anyway, he also talked about how to make your character's stance believable. And in order to make this happen, he suggested using references. I mean, yeah, I know, shocking, but they really do help. After a while, you will be able to imagine your own poses from memory. I also realized that the legs follow the same principles of the chain. They go from big to small and then to big again. Now again, this is way too much to cover in this video, but I really do recommend you go check out his channel. Alright, so moving on to day 5, I'm gonna be focusing on hands. And yeah, if I were to have a mental breakdown, it would probably happen today. Especially after the last couple times I drew hands. Like, bro, what are those? So, I realized I desperately needed help, so I scoured YouTube until I found a video by Jazza. Anyways, so while I was eating breakfast, I watched his video, and yeah, this is not gonna be easy. So in his video, he explained how to break up the hand into different shapes, and this already helped a lot from day 1. He also explained the stylistic choices he uses and also how to draw them in different poses. He explained that all hands have a common base shape that forms the palm of the hand. Next, he talked about fingers, and yeah, you basically draw them, like there's no way getting around that. But a trick that I learned from watching his video is that you can keep the bottom of the fingers the same size and also the top of the fingers the same size. And this means that you only have to change the middle part of the finger in order to get a different size. And for the thumb, I mean, the sections are pretty much the same size, so it makes them pretty easy to draw. And now that I've gone through this entire process, I realized that hands aren't even that hard. And after practicing for a while, I kinda got the hang of it, and my confidence slowly started to come back, which would be needed for tomorrow. Alright, so moving on to day 6, we're gonna take everything that we learned and we're gonna put them all together. This will really prepare us for the final drawing. So to start off day 6, I chose 2 poses that I really liked, and I tried to execute them to the best of my ability. And you may be asking, yo, where are you getting these insane poses from? Well, one of the sites I use for reference images is called Line of Action. It's a really good site to find reference images of human bodies and also how to draw them in different angles. This actually really helped me throughout my journey, so I'll leave a link down below in the description if you want to check it out. So I started off with the male body, and yeah, it's fair to say all my hard work paid off. I was able to draw with only a few problems here and there, but I eventually figured it out. And not gonna lie, it doesn't look half bad. And yeah, just to make sure I truly mastered anatomy, I also attempted drawing a female body. And yeah, this drawing was way harder, especially because females have different proportions compared to a male, such as the wide hips, the breasts, and also the difference in muscle. But after I watched a couple tutorials, I was able to figure it out. And I can confidently say I mastered anatomy, or at least improved from day 1. But still, the true test will come tomorrow. So today is the final day and I'm feeling confident, but I'm still a bit nervous, especially because this is the moment that I proved to myself I can actually draw humans. So I sat down and used all the knowledge I've collected over the past week. The 8-head scale, the chain, how to make a character stand, the different muscles, and also my newfound ability to draw hands. Well, sort of. And while I'm finishing up this artwork, or I guess this pose, I wanted to give a huge thanks to my subscribers, who have been supportive and just giving a small channel like myself a chance. And this video took an extremely long time to make and edit because I want to give the best quality video to you guys, and it would really mean a lot if you guys like and subscribe. Anyway, let's see how much I improved from day 1. And yo, it's like literally a night and day difference. And speaking of night, it's pretty late. So I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Peace out, guys.